Hey everybody, it's Shutterstar and Crystal here for our review of Invasion Part 1. Technically the Flash episode, but who gives a damn? Although the first few minutes do mostly feel like a Flash episode.
Yeah, but it's all just set up, really. It's the first part, but yeah, it's all just set up and...
That is a benefit I like of being the first part, is if you're not familiar with the other shows, you just feel like you've come into a normal Flash episode. Whereas, you know, if you're not watching the other shows and then suddenly you turn it on and it's the Arrow or Legends episode, you're smack in the middle of it. Whereas here, you're introduced to it organically, so at least if you're not familiar, you go, crossover, got it.
Yeah.
Although, this does do what I always hate, a fake-out opening. I hate those openings where they just randomly show us what happens later for no reason other than to say, hey...
We had that last time.
Other than saying, hey, doesn't this kind of look like a cool shot? Oh, why are they fighting each other? That's basically it. And again, you don't need to show us that if you're just going to tell us within the same episode. If this was in the trailer or something, sure. But I hate fake-out openings.
Yeah, we sort of talked about that last time with Kara fighting Hank, but...
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's always, something's going wrong. It's not quite what it seems. Anyway, before we get into the rest, we do have a little bit of Flash drama. Cisco's still pissed off because he's Cisco, and Wally wants to train, but nobody will help him except HR. That's about all the Flash stuff.
Yeah, but it's a lot of cool fight scenes.
There's a lot of
interactions.
There's a lot of great interactions in this episode, and there's a lot of little side plots going off on the side, because obviously we got our villain for this crossover, the Dominators, which is exciting because it's the first time aliens have appeared on Earth 1.
Oh, yeah,
you got to think about it. Aliens are a normal common day occurrence for people of Earth 38, but for Earth 1, this is a huge big deal. They don't know what to do about it. They don't have a DEO. They don't have anything.
Yeah, the best they've got is they've got Lila at Argus, and they've got this team. Barry said, I'm not going to do it alone. He gets Team Arrow.
Including
gets the
Thea.
Legends.
Thea helps out, even though, as we've seen on Arrow, she didn't really want to help out, but she's like, screw it, aliens are here. I'll put on the jacket just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
We just needed an extra team member. I guess it seemed easier to just pay Thea than having to pay the rest of the B team to show up for this episode. Although I guess it makes sense, because Thea's done this, whereas like the B team haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, because just like Amaya and Nate are also sitting out this part of the episode.
Yeah, because we don't want to pay them for being in an episode that's not a Legends episode.
That's really why the B team are missing, but we'll say it's because they're new, even though Amaya has experience.
Yeah.
But oh well, the scene where like we see Team Arrow and Team Legends first show up is great. I love the music, of course. I've always got to compliment the music, especially in crossovers. The music of the crossovers is so great. You got to listen to the Invasion soundtrack. I've seen Invasion so many times, and I've listened to the soundtrack so many times, and I love the way they integrate everyone's theme where if you listen to like the soundtrack of a fight scene, you can tell what's happening without seeing it. I can listen to the soundtrack and know what's happening just because of this music.
Oh yeah, because of the different character themes and all that.
But of course, Supergirl is another big part of this crossover, because obviously we had the cliffhanger of Supergirl, because, you know, none of the people have met Supergirl, and it's just so fun seeing her get to be part of this. None of the other Supergirl characters here, but still, it's so fun seeing Supergirl just in amongst all those characters. I don't know what it is, just seeing her stand amongst them feels so nice, you know?
Yeah, and of course she gets interactions with Mick, because why not?
It is fun seeing all the random little interactions, like her interacting with Mick, or Thea gets to interact with Mick, or lots of little lines. I love seeing like the random characters who you'd never think get to interact just for fun little random moments.
Yeah.
For some reason, Felicity decides to have Mick under her umbrella.
Which is good, because she protected him from getting sucked up.
Also, this is the first time we actually mentioned that Supergirl's Earth is called Earth 38.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because 1938 was the first time a Superman comic ever appeared.
Yep, nice bit of trivia for you.
Yeah, but whatever, Cisco's still mad because he's mad.
He'll get over it. So.
Whatever. The training sequence with Supergirl, of course, is still very fun. Again, love all the interactions, all the little stuff.
Well, at this point, Cisco does have a bit more reason to be mad. Not that I'm justifying it, but because of the recording they found, future Barry says, "Don't trust me right now."
So yeah, we finally deal with that plot we had for we tie up a lot of little plot threads because now we tie up the plot thread of like the message that Jax and Stein found, and then of course we confront everyone, which, as much as I hate dealing with the Flashpoint stuff, I do like it because every character has a lot of good lines that feel justifiable. Like Sarah and Ray both go into him because they're all about stopping aberrations and not messing with time. And then on the counterpoint, Oliver also gives some good advice about how it was a mistake, and as much as they shouldn't change time, Oliver can understand what it's like. So I like that every character's got some good stuff to say about Flashpoint, even though I'm annoyed by Flashpoint. Like I said, if something is bad, at least if you handle it in a good way, it's great. So, I love the way Sarah interacts with him, or Ray, or Oliver. They had good scenes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Stein also has a small plot going on with those memory flashes.
We finally find out who the mystery woman is after only one episode. He has a daughter. This is the second crossover in a row where a protagonist meets a child they didn't know existed.
Oh, yeah.
And it won't be the last.
Okay.
But yeah, we finally get to meet Stein's daughter, Lily, but that's about it. We get to meet her. Not much happens.
We don't know her name.
No, she said her name. She said her name. I swear on my life she said her name.
No, why would she say her own name?
I swear on my life she said
Why would she say her own name?
Whatever, it's in the credits.
Okay.
Whatever, who cares? That's not a spoiler.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
I know.
Speaking of things that messed up with Flashpoint, this is also the first time we find out that the newspaper article is no longer written by Iris.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love how, as much as I've never thought about how many tiny unrelated plot threads are in this episode of the crossover. Like, you got the Stein stuff, you've got the Jackson Stein finding the message, you've got stuff like Flashpoint, there's so many little plot threads. Wally's powers. There's so many little plot threads that aren't truly connected to the crossover, but pass through this episode. Meaning that out of all the crossover episodes, I'd say this is the most necessary one. Like, even for Legend's sake, if you didn't see this episode, you wouldn't see the introduction of Lily.
Yeah, but the thing I find strange is people act like before Flashpoint, the newspaper was always written by Iris. But that's not actually true. If you look, every time we see that article, it was written by Iris on the day when Barry, Caitlin, and Cisco found it. But every appearance before that, it's actually not Iris's name on it.
What? Has there ever been a scene where you can tell it's not Iris's name?
Yes, all the times when Wells says, "Gideon, show me the future," and he looks at the article.
And can we actually see the person's name?
If you zoom in close enough, you can tell that it does not say Iris West Allen.
Okay, but I don't think it was a plot point. I think they just didn't put it in there.
Yeah, I know. But I know they didn't do it on purpose, I guess, but it's weird because it makes me wonder, at what point did it become written by Iris?
Whatever. Again, there's a lot of little things because Ray finally has built his suit, as we saw in the last episode of Legends.
Oh, yeah. Pretty quickly, he has a new suit.
Which makes sense. He's now got enough Dwarf Star to build a new suit, as we saw in the last episode. So that's a nice little pickup. It's also the first time Barry finds about Snart's death, which, again, another great scene.
Oh, yeah. Because for some reason we never bothered to tell anyone.
And then, of course, we finally get to the best part of the episode.
Are we ever going to tell his sister that he's dead?
Sure. All she has to do is appear in the show again. But
we could at least have one little line. We could have had a line at the end of season 1 of Legends where somebody says, "I'm going to go back to the present and I should tell Lisa that Snart's gone."
I know, that would have been nice. Like, maybe in the scene where Mick goes to see earlier Snart.
Yeah.
But oh well, that's
He should be the one to get to tell her.
Oh well, that's that episode's problem.
Yeah, I know.
But obviously, then we get to the best part where all the heroes are mind controlled, which again, an amazing fight scene. We get to see them fight each other. And man, it goes on for a while. This is what a good crossover feels like. All these characters.
However, it does feel like Oliver should not have been able to survive that fight. He had Sarah, Diggle, and Thea going at him. How he managed to keep them one at a time while carrying Wally at one point, and also where the hell were Firestorm, Mick, and Ray?
No, we saw them, like, there's that great scene where, like, Firestorm and Ray are on the roof and Barry shoots them both with lightning. I'm going to assume that lightning knocked those two out, but it could, obviously, we did see it doesn't knock out Supergirl.
Okay, then where the hell's Mick?
He never shows up in that fight scene.
There is a brief moment where I see him shooting the fire gun.
That's only at the beginning for that fake out opening.
Yeah, at the beginning, yeah.
But yeah, but
He
still,
disappears.
it's a great fight scene, great music. I love the bit where, like, they play the Nanda Parbat theme when, like, Sarah and Oliver fight.
You know what? Here's my theory. After resisting his second attempt at making him Kronos, he learned to resist mind control.
I'll accept that as canon.
He resisted mind control.
Sure, that
He
actually
just
makes
didn't
sense.
feel like being helpful.
That would make sense, but yeah. I mean, Wally got to help still. Great fight scene. Gotta love the music. The Sarah versus Oliver fight was great. I love the bit where all on the roof. I just love all the... Man, this crossover, it's got so many heroes. This is what a crossover should feel like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then, of course, we have the cliffhanger to lead us into the next part where
Some of our characters have been taken.
Thea, Diggle, Ray, Sarah, and Oliver have all been kidnapped.
Well, of course, they're the Arrow people.
Yes, and next episode is the Arrow portion of this episode.
Yeah.
So, all in all, I'm giving this a 9.5.
I'll just get 8.5.
The only thing dragging it down is Cisco and a little bit of the Flashpoint drama.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm boosting it up to 9.5 because, man, I love... Invasion is probably my second favorite crossover.
Yeah.
I love Invasion so much. Next episode is the second half of the second part of Invasion, the Arrow episode, and our 100th Arrow review.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get into that next time. But anyway, we'll see you next time for more Invasion and other things as well.
See you next time, guys.